And so I'm just excited to answer that question. And so I wanted to start out first by, if you know me, I'm going to start out with definitions, okay? It's always about definitions because you got to define what productivity is before you can even get into, how to increase it, right? And so let me just start off by qualifying this with a definition. So productivity is this. Well, let me say what productivity is not. Productivity is not busy. Productivity is not being busy. And if you have followed me for any amount of time, you're going to hear me say productivity is equal to money. Productivity is equal to money. What do I mean by that? The more productive you are, the more money you can make. Okay, that's one thing. But here's the thing about productivity. Productivity is input versus output, right? Input versus output. What do I mean by that? Activities that you're going to engage in, right, to produce a certain result, right, is what productivity is and how it's measured. Okay. And I'll get into a little bit about that in just a second. So let me just give you a quick example. So you may be one that, and listen, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs. And so a lot of what I'm going to come from, or the space that I come from, is talking to entrepreneurs. Okay. And so even though, we all have different facets, different dimensions, different components to our lives, and different areas that we're wanting to increase our productivity in. But let's just talk first about entrepreneurship, because that is where I get the most, questions, right? So, for example, if you are looking to increase your productivity in the area of getting more clients, right? Maybe it's getting more clients. Maybe it's in the area of getting more exposure, right? Then it's going to be what activities or what input are you going to engage in that's going to produce the result that you want, right? So again, well, more specifically, what I mean by that is if you are wanting to increase your level of productivity by getting more clients, then what activities are you going to engage in? Okay, that's going to determine the amount of, or the increase in your productivity, right? I mean, think about it like this. Let me give you a different example, because the thing that really comes to my mind is computers, right? If you know anything about computers, the amount of data that you input, or the amount of files or that you upload, right? All of that is going to determine what kind of output you get when it comes to your computer, right? So it's like, if you think about, if you have a whole lot of files on your computers, if you have a whole lot of tabs open on your computer, let's just talk about that for a minute. If you have a whole lot of tabs open on your computer, that is going to reduce the level of productivity and the results that you get when it comes to your computer, right? It's going to slow it down, right? You're going to see that little circle, right, happening a lot of times, because your computer, the productivity that you get, or the amount of output, the quick, and even if I measured it in terms of how quick you want your computer to respond, right? It's going to be determined by how many, files you have open, how many tabs you have open, how many things you have running, programs you have running in the background, right? That's going to determine the level of productivity, or the results that you get, or how quickly you can access other things, right, on your computer. So hopefully that makes sense. That might have been an That might have been an overkill, but anyway, so that is really how I want to kind of put context around this whole productivity thing, right? So input versus output. All right. Now, here's number two. The second thing is you gotta be specific. So the first thing is you gotta define what productivity is, right? And what results you want, right? Number two, you got to be specific. You got to be specific. What do I mean by that? So you got to determine what area that you are looking to increase your productivity in. Okay, is it your fitness? Is it in the area of fitness? Are you wanting to have more energy? Right. So what are you inputting to get more energy? Right. What a higher level of energy, right? So that is an area that you want to consider, right? I mean, you have to be specific with, right? So I gave you, of course, the example with the computer, but my point is you have got to be specific in terms of the area that you want to address when you're talking about increasing the level of productivity, or you wanting to reach a higher level of productivity in. So the first thing you got to do is define it. The second thing you got to do is be specific, right? Number three, the third thing you have to do is you have to measure and track it. This is, if you don't do anything else, you have got to measure and track it. Let me give you another example in terms of that. So if you are wanting to get more clients in your business, right, then there's going to be a certain level or a certain amount of activity that's going to be required, input that's going to be required in order to get the output, the desired output that you want, right? So maybe it is reaching out to 30 people every week or every day, right? That's going to increase your possibility of getting more clients. Maybe that's what you are determining your productivity on, or that is what you are measuring your productivity on, right? And so when you do that, you got to track those things, right? You got to track it, right? And so the other thing, the importance of tracking this is you want to be able to duplicate that method, right? If it's working. Right? Because not only do you want to be able to duplicate it if it's working, if it's not working, you want to delete it, right? So you got to measure and track the results that you're getting, right? So it's all about being clear about the definition of productivity. It's all about being specific about the results that you want, and it's about measuring and tracking the results that you're getting as it relates to your input versus your output. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Let me know in the comment section if that makes sense. Let me know if you need something specific, if you are looking for if you're looking to increase in the area of productivity. I can help you, okay? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section if that's something that you're looking for, because I can help you. Because the thing that we have to do in order to help you reach higher levels of productivity is, again, number one, definition, number two, be specific, and then track. I can help you do all of those things. And so when it comes to doing those things, then we're going to get clear on the direction that you want to take, okay? We want to get clear on that, and I can help you do that. Go ahead, and I will put a link in the comment section on how you can actually get on my calendar, as well as there will be a link to a free guide that I have, and that is to help you reduce that multitasking, because that is another way. Those are specific ways that you can actually go ahead and increase your level of productivity. And again, that's being specific, right? So there are so many ways: time management, getting rid of clutter, Stop multitasking, right? There's so many ways that we can actually do this. So go ahead, feel free to get on my calendar. It's complimentary for now. I will give you access to my calendar. I would love to talk with you if you're looking for ways to increase your productivity, managing your time, or getting organized. I can help you with that, right? All right, so hopefully you got value from this. Let me know if I can help you in any way. And if you have any questions, let me know that as well. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. All right, so until next time, I will see you on the next video. All right, have an amazing day. Bye.